And we're gonna begin right away with some windshield wipers. So we'll just start with some movement. And then you can decide what you want to do with your arms. You know, if you want to cactus them or down by your side. But your feet are pretty wide, right? Like they're about as wide as your sticky mat. And sometimes we go into the twist on the inhale, sometimes on the exhale. So just right here, you know, just intuitively what makes sense for you today. But do try to connect the movement with the breath. And turn your head opposite of your knees. Just let the movement be really fluid, gentle, and slow. And as you move here, one movement thought that you can work with is just allowing the bones to be really heavy and dropping back into the earth. Okay, let's just do a couple more. Okay, and then go ahead and end back in the center. Walk your feet in just a little bit closer to your pelvis. And then from here, I am gonna cactus the arms, but you can keep them down by your side too. And it's just spinal undulation 1. Okay, so it's just inhale, arching through the low back. Notice how the chin will nod towards the chest. And then as you exhale, you'll flatten your low back and the chin will lift to the wall behind you. And so we're just going back and forth here, arch and flatten. Extension of the spine on the inhale and flexing the spine on the exhale. Also connecting the movement in the breath. And now we're going to keep this spinal undulation, but now each time you exhale and you flatten your low back, you're going to draw one knee in, okay, towards your chest. So that'll kind of intensify the flexion, right? You'll feel a little bit more round, all right? And then you lower the knee and you arch the back, and then you exhale, flatten the low back, draw the other knee in, okay? And the nice thing about this movement is not only feeling it from the lifted leg, but also from the foot that's still on the floor, right? Like if I pressed into that foot that's on the floor a little bit more, it kind of helps me get a little bit more of that pelvic tuck. So just back and forth here. Inhale as you arch, exhale as you flatten, and keep the movement going. Hi, Lori. Okay, a couple more rounds just like this. Okay, good. Now, next time your left knee draws in, we're gonna pause, okay? So as you exhale, that left knee will draw in. Let's take a hold of the back of that knee, or the back of the thigh, And then go ahead and straighten the leg, and you're gonna point through your toe, okay? And then you'll bend the knee and flex through your feet. Okay, so your toes are pointing back towards your knee, okay? So you're just gonna keep moving like that, just pulsing here, point and flex. So we're gonna do quite a bit of hamstring work today because we're going into some forward folds. Okay, good. Now next time the leg is straight, we're gonna keep it straight. Now I'm not worrying about, pointing the toe here. And press your leg into your hands. Okay, so it's like you're trying to get that left leg down to the ground. So you feel that back of the thigh turn on, the muscles there, and then keep that activation and draw your leg in any amount. Okay, it doesn't matter how far you go. And then you just relax the muscle and start over. Okay, so you activate, keep that activation of the back of the thigh as you draw that leg in. Okay, and then you relax the muscle and do it again. Super effective way to release the hamstring, right, is with this eccentric contraction, meaning that we're stretching it, but we're also engaging it, activating it. Okay, let's do 2 more. Doesn't matter how far that leg goes in. It does matter that you're keeping that back of the thigh activated, contracted. Okay, good. And then just go ahead and release that left leg long to the ground. Just kind of feel, sense and notice the back of the thigh. Okay, and then go ahead and plant both feet. We'll take a couple spinal undulations here. So arch through your low back. Exhale, flatten your low back. We're just going back to that knee drawing in on your exhale. Okay, next time your right knee draws in, we'll hold that. Okay, good. Now take a hold of that back of that right thigh. Okay, straighten it any amount. You can point through your toes, and then you'll bend the knee, flex through the foot, point and flex, point and flex. Okay, good. And then from here, go ahead and keep it straight. But now I'm not going to point the toe. I'm just gonna be really soft there in the ankle. Okay, so we're activating the back of that thigh. So I'm trying to get that leg down towards the floor. Keep that activation and then draw it in any amount. And then you relax the muscle and start over. I hope you guys do this one a lot.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. It's one of the everyday ones. This one's for real. I think I said that a couple weeks ago, right? Like, this is one you really, really need to do every day. Okay, 2 more times.
So how much time do you spend a day?
Doing yoga? Well, sometimes it's just 10 minutes, right? But I do yoga every day, but it's, different, varying lengths of time. Okay, and then just go ahead and relax that right leg. Just allow it to be passive. Just notice the back of that right thigh. then from here, take your arms up to a T. Draw your knees in toward your chest. Take a huge inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna drop your knees to one side. Okay, so just a little bit of core work here, but the legs are just hovering. And then you inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take it to the other side. So just going back and forth in this little twist sequence. Not allowing that leg to come to the floor. Now you can keep your legs bent, as you do this, or you could experiment with extending that top leg, reaching through that top heel, and then you bend the knee as you drop back in. It's definitely going to intensify, right, the core work there because we've got a longer, lever, that we're working with. Now, could you extend both legs straight? Yep, you could. That's even gonna intensify more. So you can just keep that top leg reaching, or you could reach long with both legs, bend the knees to come back. I'm also thinking about the feet going up to the opposite shoulder. So they're not going directly out to the side, but they're kind of coming in a little bit of an angle, okay, a little bit of a diagonal. Try to keep your throat soft, your face relaxed, even doing the core work. Do this one every day. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's do one more to the right, one more to the left. Okay, good. And then go ahead and come back into the center, lower the feet. Take a belly rib breath here. Okay, and then from here, go ahead and take both legs up to the ceiling, okay? And if it feels okay in the shoulders, take the arms up over the head, palms facing the ceiling, okay? Now you can always go wider with your arms, right? Like they don't have to be right alongside of your ears if that feels better, okay? But I really want you to reach strong through the heels up to the ceiling, and reach strong through the pinky or through the fingertips, okay? Now there's a little bit of an arch in the low back, so we've got neutral spine here, okay? For those with the tight hamstrings, you can always keep the knees slightly bent. Okay, couple more breaths. Reaching, reaching, reaching long. You're making like this L shape with the body. Okay, and then from here, let's go ahead and cross that right knee over the left. So it's like eagle legs. And then you're gonna take the right arm under. Okay, so it's right arm under. And if you can, grab a hold of the palms, then, go for that. But otherwise you might just, your hands might be separated. That's fine. Now, as you inhale, you're gonna lower down your fingertips and your toe tips. So you're getting really long in the body. And then as you exhale, lift your head and chest. The elbows and the knees are gonna draw in, okay? So just this eagle crunch here. So inhale as you get long, exhale as you hug in. Okay, let's take 3 more. Okay, good. After your third one, go ahead and come back into that. It's called Supta Dandasana. So the arms are reaching long behind you, the heels are reaching up to the ceiling. Head is on the floor. Inhale. And then exhale. Now we're going to cross the left knee over the right. Okay. And the left arm is going to come under. Okay. And then if you can grab onto, maybe just part of the hand. Otherwise, it can just be the back of the hands against each other. Inhale as you get long. Exhale, lift your head and chest, elbows to knee. Okay, let's take 3 more. Can you keep your eyes soft, throat relaxed, and still work the core? Okay, after your third one, come back into that Supta Dandasana again. Just one more time here. Reaching long, 2 different directions. Okay, good. And then from here, take your arms down by your side, draw your knees into your chest. Now we're gonna roll onto the left side, okay? And I'm gonna support that bottom arm with my head here, or the head on the bottom arm, okay? And then from here, just give it a go. I'm gonna stretch the both legs long and hold on to that top. It could be any part of the leg, right? It could be your calf, your ankle. Some of you will be able to grab the outside of the foot, or you can always strap it, right? So you strap your feet, just making your arms a little longer here. Okay. So the legs are straight. We're laying on the side. The legs are, they're not at a 90-degree angle. I'm trying to really make that diagonal here. So they're drawing up towards the head. Now I want you to feel that bottom hip heavy here. Okay, so just drop into that bottom hip. Yep, some of you guys are grabbing your strap for the feet. Nice. Okay. Now, from here, we're gonna take that top arm, and I'm gonna keep the legs just as they are, but this top arm is gonna come back behind me for a twist, and I'm looking to that right arm, which is the top arm, okay? And then you go ahead and bring that arm back up to the ceiling, grab onto whatever part of the leg you can, or that strap, heavy the bottom part of the body, and then you'll go into the twist again. Ooh, that was a good exhale. Heard somebody had a really nice exhale there. When you drop into the parasympathetic, it's some really cool things happen. And one of the things is you could sigh, you could yawn, or you could just have a really big exhale. All right, let's take 2 more twists here. I'm kind of rolling. I'm allowing that head to kind of roll onto that bottom arm. Okay, very nice. And then from here, next time you come onto your left side, we'll just bend the knees, come back to center. Take a belly rib breath here in the middle. Okay, and now we'll just roll on to the right side. You can always grab a blanket for your head. I'm just gonna use my arm here. And then you'll start with your knees bent, okay, just to kind of come into the posture, yep. And then go ahead and straighten those legs, but I'm really trying to bring them up, like towards my head. Okay, so kind of, get yourself tucked in there. And then that top arm is gonna rest on someplace on that leg. Okay. Some of you will have the range for the foot, but it doesn't really matter. And then go ahead and take that top arm, we're coming into the twist. And then arc that arm back. And let's take 3 more. I'm thinking about that bottom hip being really heavy. So it's really just a mind thought, you know? It's just like, oh yeah, I can be heavier through that bottom leg. Okay, last one here. When you come in onto your side, just take a moment there to feel heavy. Dropping in, dropping in, dropping in. And then bend your knees, come onto your back, and just take a couple breaths in either half Shavasana with the legs bent or full, the legs straight. And just feel the dropping here. Exhale, exhale. You can always, at any point in your practice, inhale through your nose, exhale slowly through your mouth like you're blowing out through a straw. Okay, and then go ahead and hug your knees in. And then rock on up to seated. And we're gonna go right into down dog, but we're gonna hold this down dog for a while. So I wanna support the head. I'm gonna take the block on the middle height here, right underneath the chest, and then the blanket's just gonna come on top of that, but you might have to build it up higher, just depending on your proportions. And then here we are, downward dog, but with the forehead supported. And then you might wanna walk your feet wider, right? Like they don't have to be what they, the normal downward dog distance. Now, how high do you build your forehead prop? You build it high enough so the head can just very easily, make it. I'm not like groping, trying to get my head down. But I'm also not jamming the head into the prop. So you kind of have to find that Goldilocks place. I mean, it takes a moment to kind of get that, place where you feel really supported with the head, with the neck. I'm on the forehead, like towards the hairline, towards the hairline. My fingers are still spread wide. So resting the forehead to a prop is really nice for the frontal brain, just to calm the busyness of the mind. At any point, if it's too much for the wrists, then, just go ahead and come out, sitting on your heels. Otherwise, we're going to be here, a good another 10 breaths maybe. Notice how supporting the head just has this really nice effect in the brain, in the eyes, allowing the eyes to soften. I'm going to take a few more breaths, but again, at any point, know that you can, come down, either resting in child's pose or just sitting back on the heels. Otherwise, go ahead and take 3 more breaths in that down dog. And then from here, go ahead and bend your knees, sitting back on your heels. Slowly come on up. And then you're just gonna find the ears, shoulders, and pelvis on top of one another. Just resting there for a moment in seated.